BJP National Spokesperson joining us on the broadcast. Sushant Sareen is a senior fellow ORF joining us on the broadcast as well. Yashovardhan Azad will be joining us in just a bit. Sajjad Kargil is a member of the Kargil Democratic Alliance, will be with us in just a bit. And Dr. Pooja Tripathi is a Congress spokesperson joining us this evening. Thank you all very much. Sushant, I want to start with you as someone who looks at security very closely. Do you see this as the government's failure to read the room in Ladakh? This is a very sensitive area we are talking about. You know, you can't say things that will inflame passions further. We have seen what has happened in Manipur. The last thing that you want is a Manipur to repeat in Ladakh. How do you read what has happened in the last 48 to 72 hours?
Shreya, quite clearly, I don't think the government can completely absolve itself of what happened. There was, in fact, in your report earlier, you were saying that, Wangchuk's incitement to repeat what happened in the Arab Spring or what happened in Bangladesh or in Nepal. Incidentally, the guy doesn't know that the Arab Spring was more of an Arab winter and was a disaster for the people in the Arab world, was responsible for the deaths of millions of people. The Bangladeshi so-called revolution, which he eulogizes, has been a disaster for Bangladesh, has destroyed its economy, has unleashed the Islamists on the streets of Bangladesh. And you have a clown of a Nobel laureate heading that country. And Nepal, again, we've seen only death and destruction so far, no stability. And it'll take a long time for Nepal to come back. So people who have been provoking other people and the youth on the basis of this, that's a very dangerous thing. But having said that, it is very clear that, it's not that one speech and then everybody comes onto the streets and starts indulging in arson. This would have been going on for some time. It has been going on for some time. And I think the government cannot simply shake off the responsibility that it lost the ball. It lost sight of the ball. And things spiraled out of control. If there was an apprehension of breach of peace, then they should have preempted that march. But Shreya, at the same time, I don't think that is an excuse for mobs to run amok in any place. To say that, okay, if the government had lost sight of the ball, that this is a license for what happened in Ladakh 2 days back, I don't think anybody can make that argument also.
Okay, but
so I think it is important
arrest him under the NSA. He's predicting it will boomerang on the government. Do you think it will? NSA is a very stringent act. He can be in jail for the next 12 months without even a trial starting.
Yeah,
is that an excess?
No, but Shreya, what does he want? He wants that he should be allowed to keep doing what he's doing and no action should be taken against him. The book should not be thrown at him. Now, whether it's the NSA or some other act under which he's going to be booked, that's a different matter. That's for the government to decide. But for this person to say that he has the license to do what he did and nobody can dare to touch him because everything will go up in flames, that tells you his mentality, right? That what he's been trying to do out there. And Shreya, I'll just take half a second more. The demand was not originally of statehood. The demand was of a UT. And the UT was given to them. Now, whether the UT is working the way it should work, it is not working, whether you wanted more powers, you wanted a legislative assembly, etc., those are things which can be worked out and the government needs to be sensitive to it. But just because some group of people stand up and start making demands does not mean that those demands will be conceded or that it's practical to concede those demands. Okay. After all, Ladakh is a union territory in a very sensitive area. And the government in Delhi has to look at other considerations than simply the fact that there is a bunch of people who are demanding a certain thing. Okay. It's not necessary that it has to be granted, but some middle way could have been found. And I think it's unfortunate that that has not happened.
And therefore, Dr. Pooja Tripathi, I'm coming to you with the next question. Why should the opposition call Mr. Wangchuk's arrest dictatorial? How is this dictatorial? The person has been found, at least by the government. I don't have the proof, but the government, it seems, has the proof. Now, the government has said, and the MHA is saying, He's the one who provoked the mobs. These mobs went on a rampage. 4 people were dead by the end of it. The least you expect is an arrest. And when he's arrested, the opposition is saying this is dictatorship. Kya humne British Raj ko isliye bhagaya tha so that we can all become slaves to the BJP, etc. Why this rhetoric, ma'am? Pooja, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Sorry. Shreya, Home Minister Amit Shah ji himself promised people of Ladakh at the floor of the parliament to be included in 6 schedules, reservation for jobs in them, and now they see a staggering unemployment rate of 26.8%. They were promised their conservation of their fragile ecosystem. They were promised, the Hill Autonomous Development Councils, and now when they are protesting after 5 years of broken promises, betrayal, now you are going and arresting. What is the proof that Sonam Wangchuk was on fast unto death with 16 other protesters, 2 of them who fell seriously ill, and this whole rippled. See, I'm saying violence is not the answer. Violence is never the answer to any arson, violence, burning buildings down. Is never, everything should go by the law. But look at how you betrayed the promises, how you went away from your promises, how you are alienating the youth. I've been to Ladakh, I've stayed in Ladakh, I've seen Ladakhis as proud Indians. And the irony here is Sonam Wangchuk was the cheerleader of Modi ji's governance in 2014 and 19. He even, called Article 370 abrogation as historic and wrote to Prime Minister that he's an environmentalist in himself. And that's when somebody goes against you, somebody tries to remind you of your broken promises, somebody tries to remind you that nothing has been done. He even went on a 1,000-kilometer foot march from Ladakh to Delhi where he was detained. And that's when you go on to arrest the same person. And some old videos, and it's the same toolkit, foreign funding, Pakistan link. They actually blamed a purported video of purported photo of somebody, some random person inciting violence, calling it Congress councillor, and now Congress councillor has come forward and he said he'll take legal action against everybody, the BJP IT cell head and the media houses too. So that's their toolkit. That's, what about Sonam Wangchuk's arrest should not be used as a smokescreen for what you promised to Ladakh and what you delivered. You delivered nothing. Look at the Changthang mega solar power project. It has come into huge acres of land and there's been no environmental impact assessment. There have been no social impact assessment, and that's what Ladakhis are demanding. They're demanding dignity and their just identity. And you cannot alienate a group of people in a very sensitive area too.
Okay, Tom, essentially the opposition charges that you have pulled out your familiar toolkit. Pakistan link, foreign funding, George Soros, China ka bhi link, etc., to villainize a person who till 4 to 5 years ago was standing with you. I'm not sure whether Sonam Wangchuk was a cheerleader of the BJP government, but certainly on issues like China, he was standing firm with the government. Till then, there are no FRA violations, FCRA violations that are found against him. Till then, he's a nationalist, as much as a nationalist as you and me. And suddenly today, because the situation in Leh goes out of hand, you are responsible, to some extent, you are responsible for it as well. You blame Sonam Wangchuk. Is dissent